Hey, welcome back to this episode of the Chatterjack podcast. Today we're joined by Paul Agnew, who's the Managing Director of Grant's Oak Smoked, based in Maryport. Stay tuned to hear what it's like to manage the company you started working at 34 years ago, I think he told us, what it's like to be a canon of Carlisle Cathedral, and how he's managed to become Carlisle United's biggest fan overnight. So, Paul, would you like to introduce yourself?
Okay, so I'm Paul Agnew. I live in Carlisle, have been living in Cumbria since I was 17 years old, and I am Managing Director of Grant's Oak Smoked, which is a smoked salmon factory up in Maryport.
So tell us about Grant's Oak Smoked.
Oh, wow. Okay, so Grant's Oak Smoked is a very high-end smoked salmon company, and I have been working there since February. However, I started my career there 34 years ago. I was a young student and I had met a girl on holiday and she lived in Maryport. So I was hitchhiking to come and see her because in the 90s you could hitchhike.
Yes.
It wasn't dangerous. It was quite safe. And I was at the Wigton Road in Carlisle, hitchhiking to come down to Maryport, and this big fish wagon pulled up and picked me up. And the driver said, we got to know each other, we had a really good chat. Jimmy was his name, really nice guy. And he said, look, if you really like this girl and you want to see her over the summer, we're looking for summer staff. So why don't you come in and pack fish?
Stop.
And I thought, why not?
Stop.
Yeah, summer job. Went along to the fish factory in the summer, got the job, started packing fish. I was pretty rubbish at packing fish. These hands... maybe not so gifted, but it was really good people in a really good industry, and they'd realised that I was studying a little bit of law, and they thought, well, some new EU legislation's come in, why don't you help us interpret it and put it into practice in the business? So what was a summer job ended up becoming work experience. And I spent the summer helping them implement quality systems and the food safety legislation, and really loved it. The only problem was I realised that I was more interested in industry than I ever was in law and education. So I didn't want to go back. And Jonathan, the founder of the business, he basically said to me, look, I don't have an education. Education's important. I want you to go back and get educated. And he gave me a nice little stash of cash to go back with. And there was me, went back to my education. Totally hated it.
Really?
Yeah, I just couldn't get back into education, having seen how business actually worked. And I realised that I didn't really want to do law, which you do need to study for if you wanted to do law. I was actually interested in industry. I was interested in business. So I called them up and said, look, I'm dropping out. You can have your money back. I'm really sorry for kind of not following through. So, but you get first dibs. I can either come and work for you or go and work for somebody else.
Yeah.
And thank God
That was bold.
It was bold, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was a cheeky, brash young man. I was, yeah. So yeah, shy lad's getting out.
True.
And I thought, well, if you don't ask, you don't get. And he said, fine, but you'll come in and you'll work in every department in the business. You'll understand it. And then you'll come and you'll sit at the desk in my office and you'll learn.
Wow.
And he just took me under his wing, and I did an apprenticeship on business. And it worked really, really well. So yes, that's how I started my career.
Wow.
And
there's a LinkedIn post with that photo.
Yeah, that was me so I worked for the company for a few years, and then we went over to America. And I was asked to run the North American side of the business when we set that up. And yeah, there was me with my great big curtains, dead fashionable in the 90s.
Yeah, Tom will insert the clip here.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, looking really fly with my curtains and my great big bushy head of hair.
Yeah, it was the 90s. Right?
It was the 90s. It's what you did. Absolutely. We all thought we were in Take That. Yeah. And
Cool.
so I went across there and started running the North American business. But that's how I got my start in the career and in the business.
Wow.
But it was just realising that there's a lot of different routes and a lot of different avenues to success. And I feel really quite downhearted for young people who are fed this story that it's all about education, it's all about who you know, it's all about, well, around here it's all about getting into Sellafield. Yeah. It's not. there's a lot of industry. There's a lot of businesses that you don't even know exist. And if you're hardworking and you've got something about you, you can make a success wherever you land.
Absolutely.
And I think that's important.
I will second that, actually. Yeah. And do you know what? There's a couple of people have sat exactly where you are and said similar things, that they've gone different routes into where they've gotten to, and it hasn't always been the traditional, let's call it the traditional route of school, A-levels, university, maybe an apprenticeship or a degree apprenticeship. We've got there on a bit of a squiggly journey, which
but we
is
need to normalise that, though, don't we? I was having a chat with a friend the other day, and we were talking about how many young people are out of work at the minute, and I like to think about problems and try and find a solution.
Yeah.
And as I was thinking about my early career, because it was quite pertinent with coming back to the business, and I thought there was loads of young people in Maryport, age 16, when I started, and they hated school. They just wanted out of school. Yeah. And they would come and they would work in a fish factory because they'd rather work in a fish factory than be at school. Yeah. Because they knew that just wasn't for them. And they would come in and they would learn a work ethic. Some of them were quite good and went through the management and ended up with good jobs. Yeah. Some of them didn't and just continued to work there. Yeah. Some of them moved on to other things. Yeah. But what they did was that it gave them a vehicle for growth, and it gave them an opportunity to get out into the real world. Yeah. And I think we're so obsessed with education. We're so obsessed with people having good jobs and good this and good that. Sometimes people just need a start. Yeah, absolutely. And I not want to get too political, but nowadays in education, they're very keen for people to be in training or education until they're 18. That doesn't work for everybody. Sometimes you just need a job and some money in the pocket, and that gives them a sense of value and a sense of industry. And purpose. And purpose, absolutely. And it gets them out there and they realise that they can be part of society. But the worst thing you can do to a young person at 16 is force them to be in education for another 2 years, because what they do is bunk off, play in the PlayStation for 2 years. And once you've played PlayStation for 2 years, you don't want to go out to work. Nope. So you become unemployable. Yep. And it just feeds into a very negative cycle. So I'm very keen to get young people who are eger to just come along and give it a try. Yeah. And that's so true for any industry. Just get in and give it a go.
Absolutely right. And I'm of a different era. So we did leave school at 16. Yeah. And so many of my friends went off and they got a job, or they went and got an apprenticeship so they could do the practical and the earn at the same time. And they've gone on to do great things. They've had a great time, but that education system for them was so much full of so much friction.
And there's also that obsession with success as well. Some of the happiest people I know have the same job that they've had for the past 30 years, and they're happy.
Oh, I'm dead jealous. Who are they?
Absolutely. No, but they've maybe not. Yeah. The key to success in life is understanding what's enough. If you can have enough, then you'll be happy. If it's different for different people. Absolutely. If you don't know what enough is for you, then you've got a problem. You need to work out what enough is.
That's a life advice.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, I like that.
That's not bad.
We'll take that. That's going to be a good social clip. I like that. No, you're absolutely right, and we see it as well. We were chatting off air about work experience programs, placements, that kind of thing, and the skills that we see. What do you think the skills kind of are that you would look for in young people? Have they changed as your career's moved on? Have they always remained the same?
I'm a firm believer that you can teach people skills, but you can't teach them character. So if somebody's got a good character, so somebody's got a good work ethic, somebody's honest, somebody has got a bit of passion, somebody's just got something about them, that's what you look for. Skills you can teach. Generally, you can train dogs to do things. You can train monkeys to do things. Training to do a task isn't the hardest thing in the world. But actually having some character and having something about you is important. And I think that's why that kind of leap from childhood to adult's so important. I think we kind of prolong childhood maybe a little bit too long when it comes to work in business.
That's interesting.
Young people have got a lot to offer, and we should be offering the world to them rather than holding them back from it.
That's so interesting. Do you know what? You're the first person to say that on the pod.
Oh,
yeah, okay. That's really, really interesting. And we've had, you've seen the variety of people that we've had on, but do you know something? Yeah, I can see where you're coming from with that perspective.
There's a lot of talent out there. There's a lot of good young talent. And we're sat here in a fairly technologically advanced environment. Yeah. Young people, that's instinctive, it's intuitive to them.
100%.
But you can't teach that at college. You can't teach that at university. That's something they've been raised with, that they're intuitive about. Yeah. Our businesses need that. Yeah. Our businesses need young people that know how to speak to AI properly to get the right outcomes. But instead of trying to speak to it like it's an Alexa. Yeah. The whole kind of vibe programming thing, it's intuitive to young people.
It totally is.
But that's a skill set that we're going to need.
For sure. And we were talking just before about some conferences that we've been to and heard from different speakers and how that young people, they just understand that. I think a guy I was chatting to said that there was someone on his program who came in, he was about 17, 18, he'd built a whole management system for the business using AI on his own in his sort of week or 2 weeks that he was on work experience with him. It's like, that would have taken me or for me to train someone so much time.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's just understood straight away.
Well, I learned a few years ago, I think reverse mentorship's important. Mm-hmm. So when you bring a young person in to teach you something, it's very easy to be quite arrogant when you get a bit older and successful and think that everybody should listen to you. Yeah. There's really something to be said for having the humility to realise that you can still learn from somebody younger than you.
That's cool. So is your inbox open if someone's thinking,
Do you think you're young enough?
Not me. Oh God, not me. No,
I'm teasing.
Yeah, but pull the rest of your hair up. I'll send you to an early grave. No, honestly,
but it absolutely is because it just brings a different angle.
He's right.
And but we make products to sell products, and if we don't know who's going to be buying our product in the future, then we've got a limited shelf life for what we do. Yeah. So any business that wants to be future proof, it needs to understand who its customer of tomorrow is. And so if you don't have young people in your business, how's your business going to be intuitively understanding that? It's going to be counting on outside experts. You've got homegrown ones right there if you listen to them. Yeah,
and that's the difference, isn't it? Listening. You're totally right. Well, that's a fascinating start to your career. And how you ended up going through that thing. That's again, it's not the norm.
Well, that's it. My career is owed to Jimmy Holm from Maryport, who was driving his truck and suggested I come and work for them.
That's so cool. That's so great. Cool. Yeah.
And then Jonathan, who basically took a punt on me.
Yeah. And he did say, I know I can have my cash back and you can come and have a job. He said, yeah.
I even kept the cash. No. I even got to keep the cash.
You lucky so-and-so. Yeah, you've done all right.
If you can be anything in life, be lucky.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, a great start and the opportunity again to go around into the different departments in a business and to see that in real life. That's invaluable.
Well, the thing is, it's not just understanding the processes, but it's understanding the people as well and what their needs are in it. Like, I've got 4 main priorities in business, and they're people, product, process and profit, in that order though. Because if I get them out of whack, then something usually goes wrong. But so if you've got an opportunity to experience something, experience the people first. Then experience the product and understand what it's about. Then understand the process, and then the profit kind of looks after itself, but it does need a little bit of checking every now and then. And if we can do that, then we can work things well. But the people are the core part of it.
They are. They absolutely are. And the definition in the dictionary is a company is a group of people.
Absolutely. Yeah. And success, but that's true of everything, of any organisation. If you look at a football team, you can think a football team is the 11 guys on the field playing the game. But without supporters, there's not the income there, so it doesn't work. So the people is everybody that's involved in that. In that system, in that little eco-culture. Absolutely. And a business is the exact same. So when I say people, I mean our customers, I mean the people who work for us, and you've got to consider everybody's needs and balance them. And if you can do that, you'll do okay. Yeah,
for sure. And it's that awareness as well, isn't it? That we sometimes, if we're not having a good day, we can shut bits out and we're not hearing. Yeah. We can listen and we hear the word, but sometimes we don't hear actually the bit in between, and that's important too.
Well, the biggest mistakes are usually made because people aren't listened to.
Or felt listened to.
Or felt absolutely. And sometimes it's just laziness. Sometimes we just get tired and we get sick of things and we get fed up and we shut down. But we've got to make space for people, and people need to know that they've got access the best companies I've ever worked for, you could always get to the guy at the top within 1 or 2 moves.
That's cool.
And that's important.
That's cool. That's really cool. Well, let's go there. So we moved on.
Yep.
Where did we go? Give us the crack.
Wow. Well, so after that, I went to work for a big company out in Poland.
Yes.
And I was across there for a year to 18 months.
Cool.
Some big Norwegian investors had bought what was the Polish nationalised fisheries industry, because it was just coming out of communism.
Yeah.
And my job was to go across there and look at the bits and see what they could parcel off to sell on.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Culturally different.
And again, opening yourself up to something new. So having gone from the UK to the US, then to Poland, it was really, it was really interesting.
Yeah, that's proper cool.
And then while I was there, so we went across there. My son was 2-3 years old.
Yeah.
And we got pregnant with my daughter. And then it's actually a really deep story, because it kind of brought a kind of life change. I had been very business orientated.
Got you.
And business was everything. I was quite naive.
Got you.
It was like the 90s, and business was hard and fast, and
Blackberries were just coming out.
Yeah,
Internet was just coming out.
I joke with people that my time in America was like Wolf in Wall Street with fish.
Got you.
It was, there were wild hedonistic times, and it was all about how much you could get. There was the whole kind of ethos was the guy who dies with the most toys wins, and that was vulgar and horrible, and it just made bad people out of all of us.
Yeah.
But you learn from your mistakes as much as you do from the benefit. So my time in Poland was really good, because it was kind of a time of just kind of putting that to the side. But while we were there, we got pregnant with my second child, my daughter, but there was complications and it didn't look good, and we thought we were going to lose her. And being a man of faith, I kind of prayed and made a deal with God that if he saved my baby, I would come back to the UK and be useful. So he did. My baby was saved, and we came back to the UK, and I took a kind of fairly regular job and studied and trained to become a vicar.
Yeah.
And I did that for 7 years.
7 years, gosh.
Yeah, so that was really good. So a little kind of career break. Really enjoyed that out in West Cumbria, up in Maryport and Durham. It was nothing too big, too fancy, but it was just really nice, and just something totally different.
Yeah.
Again, back in with people at the heart. And as we've discussed already, it's all about people.
Right in the middle of that community as well.
Well, it's important. I was lucky that I'd been successful enough at business, and I was still able to do work that I didn't need to take a wage. And for places like West Cumbria, finding somebody that can, a community that can support a minister is quite difficult. So for me to be able to be self-supporting was a big deal.
Absolutely.
And it was nice.
That's so cool, and that journey, it progresses. So it kind of we'll come back to that as well. Yeah, absolutely. Because you've just posted recently, and there's a whole chapter
there's an awful lot of stuff happened. So after that time, due to marital breakdown that left me becoming a single dad, I had to put the ministry behind me for a while, and look for a new job. And that's when I started working for Vituni, a big Lithuanian multinational business, to build their UK division. So I did that for the past 15 years. It was pretty good. And it was an interesting 15 years. We went from not having a place in the UK market to having 85% market share for our core product. We did really well, really successful. But this time last year, I all of a sudden became quite dissatisfied with it, and not enjoying it quite the same, and decided it was time to look for something different. I love my community, and if I can do something that benefits my community, I would far rather do that. So working for a multinational was great, but it meant all the jobs I was creating were in a country somewhere else.
Yeah.
And we were effectively outsourcing everything.
Yeah.
But the community I live in needs jobs. It needs opportunities and it needs hope. So, without sounding terribly arrogant, if you've got any kind of talent, then it's kind of incumbent upon you to try and use that where you live and to benefit where you live.
Absolutely.
So that was kind of wrestling with me. And then at the same time, Jonathan, the founder of Grants, he had been asking me to come and work for him for about 8 years. And I kept saying no because he's a very successful guy. Yeah. And I just like being his friend. And I never ever wanted to kind of blur the lines between friendship and business. But then all of a sudden things started falling into place, and I decided that I was going to leave my job because I just wasn't enjoying it anymore. Yeah. So I quit, and then I called him up and I says, you know, when you asked me to come and work for you, do you actually mean it? And he went, yeah, of course I mean it. I'd love for you to come and work for me. So I said, well, ask me again. And thankfully he did. And I took the job.
Wow.
So I started back there in February.
That's so cool.
And it's so nice to be back. And the wonderful thing is I've come back into the business in Maryport, and there was one or two people who had been there from my youth, like young lads that started alongside me.
Wow.
And they were working in different parts of the business.
Wow.
Which was really nice. But then there was their children and then their grandchildren. There was... Because we're employing, 75, 80 people in Maryport. You're a big part of the community as an employer that size. Yeah. So that was really nice.
Absolutely.
And just to see the impact that business has had, because the business has been bought and sold a few times, but Jonathan's his loyalty to the town that kind of gave him his start has been such that he's always bought it back if he thought it was going to get closed down.
Got you.
Because a lot of big companies will buy places because it adds to the portfolio. Yeah. And then when it doesn't fit the purpose, they'll sell them off. Yeah. Or they'll just close them down. And whenever he got an inkling that was happening, he always bought it back, which is really good. So it was nice to be part of that and
absolutely.
And to be given free rein to basically take it to the next level.
Yeah. That's so cool. We had Kurt Canfield on the podcast last week before. And obviously he's bought the brewery at Jennings. Yeah. So obviously that was bought maybe quite a similar plan strategy that it was. And then it was obviously, it was closed down and sort of, picked it back up. So really, really sounds like a similar kind of thing.
A lot of these big businesses aren't invested in the community.
No.
I'm not saying all of them, because there's a lot of good businesses out there that do invest in their community in a big way. Yeah. But ultimately, there'll be somebody somewhere that's looking at numbers, and if it doesn't quite work out, they'll quite savagely cut things. Yeah. Now, you need to turn a profit. We're not a charity. However, if you're willing to work through the problems, you can usually make something work.
That's so interesting. And it keeps finding it back. It keeps coming back to that point.
It just feels right. Yeah. It just feels right. You know these people. Yeah. You live alongside these people. Yeah. And it's just nice to be part of that community.
Yeah, for sure.
And just to bring something different to the area.
Absolutely.
We're lucky here. We've got big employers like Sellafield, but that doesn't fit for everybody. And it's nice to have alternatives. It's nice to have other businesses. And one of the wonderful things about the food industry is people are always going to have to eat.
Yes. Yes. That's so true.
So it's just nice to have something different and just something that's tangible and real and
And we've got the most Michelin stars.
Well, absolutely.
I mean, why would you not want to be here?
Well, the thing is, we make great ingredients. Look, we've got some really good fish getting caught and brought into Whitehaven and Maryport. Yeah. We've got some really good lamb out there in the fells. Yeah. Our dairy products are second to none. Yep. I mean, so we've got lots of rain, which means we've got lots of green grass, which means we've got lots of good ingredients. Yep. Food is a core part of what we do. And I think sometimes maybe because of the energy industry, sometimes it can get overlooked. But it's important that we understand that we need more than tourism and energy.
Absolutely.
There's a lot more. The farming community around here is a big deal, because it's not just part of our industry, it's also part of our heritage.
And the landscape as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like nothing we see is natural.
No.
It's all been man-made by people over generations, basically controlling nature for our betterment. That's pretty special.
And when you see the Herdwicks right at the top of the fells, you're like, how have they gotten up there?
Yeah, absolutely.
That is, it controls the landscape and the ecosystem, the ecology of
Completely.
it all.
And it's part of who we are.
For sure.
But if we look at that, landscape as a consumer, we're never going to get the best out of it. We're custodians, not consumers. And if you can walk through the fells as a custodian rather than as a consumer, then you'll get far more out of it because you'll realise that you've got a part to play in it. Yeah.
Absolutely. And we're coming to that season now, aren't we?
Absolutely.
Yeah, school holidays, cars parked everywhere. We're coming to silly season, let's call it, where that does happen.
Yeah, where farmers are driven to spread muck over parked cars.
No, literally, that was in the news, wasn't it? That was on my For You page as well. I've seen that.
But people do naturally get upset.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we do need tourism. Yeah. We welcome tourism, but we want responsible tourism and we want respectful tourism.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you can see if you've got a farm and you've been there for 20, 25, 30 years, your patients probably do wear thin after a while.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can see that. Absolutely. But there's a lot of ground to cover there. We'll come back to that, but we did have Jill Haig, Company Tourism on the pod as well. Yeah. So she was very much talking about responsible tourism and what we can do as people that live here and how we can support tourism, but the challenges and the pros and the cons that it brings to all of the communities up and down. So she had some interesting takes on it actually. But
you just got to be grown up about it and be balanced and respectful.
Absolutely. And take your tents home, please.
Take your tents home and your disposable barbecues.
Please put them out properly. That'd be great. So a very nice sort of cyclical journey it started.
But honestly, if I can end my career here, I'd be quite happy.
Really?
Yeah, no, it felt like a homecoming. It really did, and I wasn't quite prepared for that.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I thought you would have been, knowing you outside of
that's
this.
It. No, I thought I was coming back and I was going to kick ass and I was going to make things happen, which I'm hoping that I do.
You will.
But it was more than that. It was very much a case of, this just feels so very right.
Yeah.
This is a privilege to come back and for to be trusted by the founder to kind of just take it over.
That's cool.
There's been a really nice kind of like passing on of the mantle.
That's cool.
And that's a lovely feeling to have been given the responsibility. It's like being given the keys for the house. It's a nice feeling. Yeah. It's a nice feeling.
Absolutely. So we went to 85% market share with the last company.
Yeah.
Where are we going?
Ooh. Where are we going?
Yeah. What's the plan for the next 3 years?
I think the plan for the next 3 years for our business is to really, and this isn't just to be cheesy because we've talked about it previously, but it's to invest in the people and to future-proof it. We've got an aging workforce.
Okay.
In the next 5 to 10 years, there's going to be a huge knowledge gap.
Okay.
And my desire is to get young people in and trained so that there's an element of longevity.
Okay.
So that we can then push it. The company's going to be turning 45 next year.
Yeah.
I'd like us to see 100. You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason why we couldn't.
Yeah.
There's businesses in the lakes that have got that kind of heritage, and 45 is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But we can go longer.
Yeah.
But in order to do that, we need young people to come and to be keen. And I think it's just dispelling the myth that you need to be a TikTok or be on podcasts, but actually realize that some of the unsexiest things that you can do for a living can actually be the most rewarding.
Yeah.
And rewarding is more important than sexy.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's back to that point you said before about enough.
Yeah, it's just understanding that what is enough.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can get up in the morning and go to work with people that you like and achieve something together as a collective, that's great.
That's a win.
Whatever that is. If that's working for the council and doing the bins, that's great.
Yeah.
If that is packing fish in Maryport, that's great. If that's going down to Sellafield and using a robot to pick up radioactive rods, that's great. But if you can be part of a team with people that you genuinely care about and work together to accomplish something, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? And there's some of the best teams that you worked in.
Completely.
Yeah, it's really interesting. But you said before, I'm going to pick back up on this point about being a couple of steps away from the CEO or the managing director of the business. Is that how you lead?
It is. So at least 2-3 times a week, I'll get onto the factory floor.
Yeah.
And a purpose for myself to look at things and to speak about things and ask questions. And if I see something that I don't think's been done right, I'll ask why they're doing it that way. Because I'm a firm believer that nobody willfully makes a mistake and nobody willfully seeks to do something badly. Yeah. So if something's not been done as well as I think it can be done, I'll ask them why they do it, because there's usually a story. Once upon a time we got fish and it was really fat, therefore we put the fish into the slicing machine this way. Well, the fish isn't fat, why are you still doing it? Oh, we never really thought to change it. And little things like that, and all these little fractional changes and tweaks and understanding our product and our process better really helps us make money. Because everybody makes money in those little marginal areas. So it's really good to understand that. And also to motivate people and just to let them know that they're valued and that, fine, I've maybe got my nice office and all the rest of it, but I don't make a penny if you don't show up to work. That's important. So therefore, if it's too cold in here for you that you're not enjoying coming to work, then let's see what we can do to help that. If you've seen a way to make something more efficient, come to me with the idea and we'll talk through it. Let's have a chat.
That's important, isn't it? It's a two-way street, isn't it?
And to be fair, I don't have an open door policy in so much as you can come and disturb me whenever you want, but I make sure that there's points in the week, in the day, in the month where you can get access if you want to.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's quite a good one. And when you read about leadership and business and senior, very global heads they lead in a very similar way.
Yeah. Well, when I invite people in from the factory floor for a meeting, the common thing in factories is they've come in from the factory with a work gear on, they feel out of place. They basically stand to attention until you ask them to sit down, and it's really quite tense. One of the first things I do is when people come into the office, ask them if they want a cup of tea, and I'll go and I'll make them a cup of tea. And then we'll sit down and we'll have a cup of tea and we'll talk. But just that simple act of asking them, do you want a cup of tea? Is like, oh,
you're going to make me a cup of tea.
I'm welcome here. You actually care about what I think. And it's a small step. It's a small thing, but it just makes people feel valued. Absolutely. And if people feel valued, it's amazing how much more they give you back.
Hey, it's me. I know you hate it when I interrupt the podcast. I'm so sorry to do it again. But just a quick one to ask you, if you don't already, could you follow us, like or share the podcast? We'd really appreciate it because it helps us grow the podcast and continue to get bigger and better guests week after week. Thank you. And it sets people at ease a little bit too. It
does.
Makes you feel like, all right, well, we'll have a cup and it's not going to be that bad. That kind of thing.
But if you don't get offered a cup out, usually because you're in to get told off.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. We've heard it here first, guys.
I'm not a total pushover.
We've heard it here first. Oh, what's the name of that lady? She was on, yonks ago, she was on Stephen Bartlett's podcast and she says she fires people on a Friday. Can't remember the name of her. She's in property in New York. She's not very tall, blonde. She may be about 50s, 60s.
Oh, I need to watch that.
Oh, she was ferocious.
Fires them on a Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Because she wants to spoil their weekend.
Yeah.
What a bitch.
Doesn't care. Doesn't care. It's ruthless. I was like, that's harsh. Brutal. Yeah, brutal. But yeah, no, it's a very very well-rounded journey, and you can see where the people have played a real part, and it feels like that you want to give that back as well and to repay those favours that were given to you.
What we're doing, it's all about people. As I mentioned to you earlier on, my dad passed away earlier this week. My dad was a builder. He was a plasterer. He wasn't a great businessman, but he gave me some of my greatest business lessons. And treating people with dignity and respect was the first point. And he used to always say to me, he says, Paul, never kick an arse that you're going to have to kiss later. And it's so true.
Oh, yeah.
Because as a boss in a business, you can go in there and you can go in there like a raging bull and tell everybody off and everybody's an idiot and everything's wrong. Yeah. But a week later, you ask them to work overtime to get an order out because you need it as a business. You need to treat people with dignity and respect all the time, not just when it's convenient to you.
Yeah.
I think those core values are important. And again, like we said earlier on, you can teach skills, but you can't teach values. No, you can't. If somebody doesn't value people, you can't make them value people. And I think sometimes we live in a world where we think that we can regulate to enforce things, but you only change behaviours. You don't actually change attitudes. Yeah. The best way to change attitudes is to actually model respect. Yes. And if you model respect, you're going to change the way people think and the way people feel. Absolutely.
I like that saying. I like that a lot. That's a good one. I'm going to probably put that somewhere. And I'll definitely put that one. Yeah. My brother had a saying and he said, you'll like this actually. My brother said to me once, he went, well, you'll either be a shipwrecked or you won't set sail.
Oh, there you go.
And I thought that was quite poignant from my brother.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
Yeah, I was like, oh, fair play, Steve.
Common wisdom.
Yeah,
you can't
literally,
beat it.
I know. But yeah, it is that thing, isn't it, of yeah, either you are or you aren't. You're people. As we said it before, we're people. Or we maybe not people, but that's fine. Some people are very processing. They can see.
That's right.
They fascinate me.
You know something? I've got a good friend who works in the pharmaceutical industry.
Yes.
And he's great. He's just got his doctorate and he was really sharp guy. And we were having a chat one day and he said, I'm having a real problem with my people closing deals and understanding things. And I thought, okay, so tell me a bit about your business and your process and what do you do? And these are really intelligent people. These are people, some of them are medically trained, they're clinicians, they're staff nurses, and they've gone into the industry of selling pharmaceuticals. Or not selling pharmaceuticals, but representing pharmaceuticals. Yeah. And it can be challenging. And I said, I think I know your problem. And he went, what? And I said, none of them think they're salespeople. And he said, well, you come and talk to them. So we went down to this little conference room in London. And there was maybe 20, 30 people. Yeah. And from all the jobs. And I said, look, hands up if you're a salesperson. And nobody put their hand up. And I went, oh, okay. But I had the list of the jobs that were there. And it says, hands up if you're a clinical product technician, and put the hands up. It says, hands up if you are a clinician relations officer, and put the hands up. And they put all these their hands up, and it says, I've got a secret for you. You're all salespeople, and I've never been so hated in all my life. Yeah. And they just looked at me and said, how very dare you? I'm not just a salesperson. Yeah. But the problem is...
What is that stigma around salespeople?
They think double glazing salespeople, they think PPI sales. Yeah. But you just need to reframe it. If you go to America, Americans are quite happy to say they're in sales. Oh, 100%. It's a noble occupation there. Yeah. But in life, you've got people with solutions and you've got people with problems. Yeah. A salesperson's job is to put somebody with a solution together with somebody with a problem. Because I don't know if you've noticed, but people who come up with solutions usually aren't the best people to tell people about them. Nope. And people with problems are usually too frantic to be able to interface with people with solutions. So a salesperson's got a really important job. Mm-hmm. They've got a job that makes the whole economy work. They are the grease in the cogs. Yep. They make everything smooth and they make everything work. Mm-hmm. And when you start to reframe it and understand that a salesperson's job is to interface a solution with a problem, then all of a sudden you realise what I'm doing here is a big deal. Yeah. It's actually very important. Yeah.
And you know what? Because when you look at people's job titles on LinkedIn, no one's a sales manager.
Nobody's a salesperson anymore.
They're not?
Nobody's a salesperson.
Is that why?
Totally. It's some kind of weird snobbery that we've decided that we're too good to be doing sales. But sales is possibly one of the most noble things you can do in the economy.
Wow.
To trade.
Yeah. And that skill set of being able to see the problem from us.
Absolutely. And to understand what people need.
Yeah.
To actually think, well, I've got a solution for that, or maybe this other solution would be better for it. And you're almost like a clinician yourself going in there and trying to diagnose what the problem is so that you can put the right solution together with it. It's a great job.
Yeah. I think we're probably both quite good at sales.
Yeah, we're all right, aren't we?
Yeah.
but our economy needs it. I mean, so you look at the productivity rates in the UK and things like that. If we had a more sales-based mentality, we would do a lot better because we're really good at solutions. British people are great at solutions.
Very. We've got some of the best engineers in the
Absolutely.
world. Like
Absolutely.
Innovation. Yeah.
Absolutely. What we're not great at is selling it.
And is that a British thing? Is that just how we are?
But in the past we've done it. Look. You think you're into your history.
I am.
In the past, we had great exhibitions to show people all the solutions that we had to everybody's problems.
Yeah.
We got a problem with transport. We'll build a train network.
Yeah.
Well, look at during COVID and things like that, and we actually put our mind to it. And we come up with all the solutions faster than everybody, didn't we? Because that's what we do.
That's so interesting. When you
we just need to be better at selling it.
Yeah.
But if we don't do it, other nations will come and exploit our skills.
That's interesting.
And they'll take our skills and they'll get the benefit from it.
For sure.
Because they'll sell our ideas.
Yeah.
Or they'll buy our ideas from us and make them their own.
And you're absolutely right, because I was at this AI conference the other day, and everybody's obviously fearing the arrival of AI into business and what that means for our people and everything like that, jobs and whatever. But one of the guys, he flashed this slide on the screen about productivity. And it was in the 80s, 90s when the internet was kind of unleashed on everyone.
Yeah.
And productivity's never really changed.
No.
It's not gone any bigger, smaller.
Expectations have changed.
Yes, absolutely. People's patience levels have
absolutely.
And everyone's attention span's less than 2 to 3 seconds now it is. You've got to catch someone's attention. But AI, that's not... He was forecasting that it's actually not going to increase productivity in the slightest. It's how we use it to be more efficient to then allow us to do other things. He said, we didn't get it right that time.
Yeah.
How we might be able to this time. I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, but things change. It's funny, with me going back into a place where I had worked many years ago, we didn't have email when I first started. We didn't have email. No. We would send letters to people. Yeah. I can remember going into the office and you were given a desk tidy and an ashtray just in case you fancied a cigarette at work. I was like the last of those who would maybe remember that, because I was very, very young.
That's iconic.
That's it. Just a little smoke while you work. Stressful day. Writing a letter.
Mad.
And you would wait for things. You would send a letter and 2 weeks later you would get your answer, and there was time to think and to breathe. Yeah. We don't really have that now. No. We don't have time to reflect. We don't have time to actually work out if we want things.
True.
Because things just happen so quickly that you're going down a path before you've even decided and assessed whether it's right for you.
Yeah. That is true.
But we sometimes just need to give ourselves a wee bit of space.
And does that then feed into your point you were saying about young people before and how they're on this accelerated path of do your exams, get the... that is good for people. I'm not anti-education. Like, I love education. Yeah. As a full-blown adult with time on my hands, I love to learn. Learning's fun. However, there's certain times of your life where it's more important than others. Yeah, absolutely.
And that's going to hit everybody differently.
Yeah. And learning now's on your terms, not somebody else's terms.
Absolutely. Well, let's be honest. I think I was maybe 35, 40 before I decided what I wanted to be when I grew up.
Oh, I'm in peak deciding then, yes.
You know what I mean? I'm still not quite sure.
No, me neither.
But that's a wonderful thing about life. You get a chance to reinvent yourself. You don't need to be one thing for the whole of your life.
No.
You can choose to change direction. You can choose to go back.
Yeah. And that message isn't told either.
No, that's it. Jonathan, the founder of our business, he's got a wonderful saying when things get really stressful. He says, Paul, don't panic. We sell dead fish in boxes. And It's very true.
Yeah.
When you look at things, there's very few jobs that are life and death. I'm pretty sure there's some safety guys up at Sellafield where it is maybe life and death, or if you're a doctor or
in the hospital
or a paramedic. Then, but generally, very few things are life and death.
Yeah, it's true.
And sometimes we can just overly sweat them, and we can overly stress them. And I worry, particularly for young people, that the reason why they maybe don't take risks is because they're frightened of failure, and they're frightened of how their image is perceived.
Yeah.
But you know what? You can reinvent yourself very easily. It's
Even
very
in a small
easy.
community like West Cumbria,
You know what?
can. Yeah.
If West Cumbria won't let you change, pack up and move somewhere else.
Yeah.
Try something else. The world's a great big place. It's a welcoming place. People are generally pretty nice.
Yeah.
And if you want to give something a go, most people will let you have a go at it.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work out, that's okay.
Yeah, for sure.
We need to normalise trying.
Trying, yeah, and failing faster. I think that's...
I love feeling fast.
Same. I'm trying to get faster.
Yeah.
It takes me a little... I'm not at the fast bit yet. Failing, but sometimes not fast
Not fast enough.
Yeah, I'll come for lessons.
Come on, speed it up. Speed it up.
Yeah. Need to hit the deck quicker to get back up.
Yeah. But being able to admit that something's not working.
Oh, yeah.
So many people flog dead horses because they just don't want the embarrassment of something not working.
Yeah.
Actually realising, you know, that's not working, let's stop.
Yeah.
That's a great gift. That's a great talent. Businesses need that.
I know when enough's enough. It's that point
absolutely.
you keep saying it's enough. Like, we've tried that. That's not working. We're going to have to...
Let's try something else.
Go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, totally segue, but massive Carlisle United fan.
Recently, I was never into football.
I know.
I didn't like football at all.
I've only been to the football a handful of times, but every time I've been there, so has yours truly.
Yeah, well... I'm a born-again Ted Lasso.
Where did that come from?
So in my previous job, we had a kind of health product that we were looking to promote. It's high in protein, low in fat, and low in calories. Really great product. Yeah. And we thought, well, how do we promote this? What's a healthy lifestyle? And I thought, look, we'll just move the office to Carlisle.
Yes.
Carlisle United's there.
Yeah.
And I like numbers. And I'd calculated that if 250,000 people a week were watching Carlisle United online, maybe 100,000 of them would be from Carlisle and 150,000 of them would be from away.
Yeah.
So I realised that if we put our adverts on the billboards, there'd be 250,000 people every other week watching it. And 150,000 of them would have been from away.
Yep.
Okay. So I calculated that just under 2 million people would see our advert for, we bit of advertising for Carlisle United here, for about 5-6 grand.
Yeah.
That was really, really cheap.
Yeah.
I thought they're my kind of numbers. That's a huge reach.
Yeah.
And as you and I have had little side bets, if there's a goal scored while your advert's up, that's like a super bonus, isn't it? Because then it gets on Match of the Day.
Yep.
Then you've got almost 10 million people seeing your advert on national TV for your 5-6 grand investment.
Yep.
Absolutely
and
brilliant.
Look around and everything else.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But then once you make that small investment, you realise that you want them to win.
Yeah.
So then you you try and work out why we're not winning. And then you start having opinions and things. And then you start getting very passionate about it. And then all of a sudden you find yourself that you're now a football fan.
You're on the away bus.
You're on the away bus and learning the chants. Yeah.
You're going down to Truro, figuring out how I get there.
Honestly, I painted a great big C in my belly. No. But you get addicted to it.
Completely.
But then you realise that a football team is a huge part of a community.
Oh, huge.
And there's nothing, because community is important to me, there's nothing nicer for me than walking down Warwick Road with 8,000 other people going to the same place.
Yeah.
That's special.
Yeah,
that's really nice.
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely
And whether
agree.
you love football or you hate football, to be part of a community and to come together and rally around one thing, whatever that thing is, that's awesome.
Blokes running around in the
Absolutely.
PA kit.
That's it. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. Something that I can do with my community.
Absolutely.
And so you and I usually meet in the executive box, but I love to go down the Warwick Road end and meet the lads and just see what people are doing. And
in the fan zone.
Absolutely, in the fan zone,
Yeah.
having a chat with people. it's really nice because it's a community, and the new owners have done a great job of building on that community. For people from away, as we like to say, they really kind of got the core of what we're about.
Absolutely.
We're very proud of who we are.
Yes.
We don't really want to change that.
No.
We want to celebrate it. And they've been happy to come in and give us a vehicle to do that. And we just hope that next season we do it with style and come top.
Absolutely hoping. But yeah, you're absolutely right. It is that community.
But
you can't help it.
You can't help it.
Then I'm watching the results coming through. I'm like,
can't
is
help
it 10:30? I get the match of the day on.
Yeah.
I want to know if they won.
Yeah, no, but it is. Yeah. And then you see people from your everyday life, you think, oh, I didn't realise you were a fan. And all of a sudden you've got a wee something to chat to people about, and
absolutely.
And a wee conversation.
Absolutely. And the beauty about Carlisle is obviously Cumbria is so vast, but so not very densely populated. So the fans travel from all over.
They do.
There's a huge portion of them come probably from West Cumbria, from East Penrith, and probably from...
Well, you get the diaspora who can then kind of come from away as well. Like I stand next to a guy who comes down from Glasgow every other week.
Really?
And it's a big deal.
Exceptional.
But it's really so good. Cool. But it draws it in.
It does, yeah. It absolutely does. And I think was there some stats out that despite the positions in the leagues and perhaps not getting the result on pitch, the supporters and the stability of the business is still very strong.
It is.
It's going to be.
The thing is, everybody likes to win.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody wants to come top.
Yeah.
But last season we finished third. That's pretty bloody good.
Yeah.
That's pretty blooming good.
Yeah.
And it's nice to watch your team win.
Yes. Absolutely. But the trek to Truro.
Well, I didn't make it.
No, me neither.
But good luck to them.
Yeah,
and those lads that cycled, my goodness, well done.
I know. And all I think is Truro is Paul Dark, so that's a whole different story.
Well, you just keep your fantasies to yourself.
Thanks.
A wee Friday flush.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, it's so cool, isn't it? But like West Cumbria, we're renowned for rugby. That's the thing on the West Coast is rugby league. Yeah. And obviously they're going to be building the new community stadium and all that kind of good stuff. So I think there's more to come.
There's a lot to be said for it. And if you can put a little bit of belief into a community through a sports team, that's great. For many years, I just didn't get it.
Really?
Yeah.
Sport not your thing?
You've seen my physique. No. I've always kind of done solo sports. So I was always kind of into surfing and things like that. Yeah. They're not team sports. They're not community sports. No, They're quite selfish, self-indulgent sports. Yeah. So you kind of head off on your own and do your own thing. And you want to avoid crowds as much as you possibly can. So my activities never really did that. So it's only later in life I've actually understood the big deal.
Why?
Yeah, and why it's so important.
There we go. So we might... we'll watch this space where we get Grant's Oak Smoke next, where their billboards pop up, where they might or might not be.
You never know. You never know.
So what is it about the products then that we're going to totally go back there?
Okay, back to product.
Back to product. What
Product's
is it?
important.
So we've done the people part. What is it about
Well, we've gone very authentic with what we do.
Okay.
So we understand to service an industry, you need something for every price, every price point. So we've got a kind of entry level product that we'll do for our kind of mass catering companies that we work with. Yeah. Then we've got kind of mid level, which is your kind of everyday. Yeah. But then we've got our Rolls Royce, which is our kiln smoked traditional product, where it's rope hung in a brick oven and it's smoked for 48 hours. It's stunning. Yeah. It's stunning.
Yes.
They come out like cricket bats and they taste amazing.
Love.
And that's great. I would like for us to kind of maybe develop that a little bit further. So my career has been built on, again, finding solutions. Mm-hmm. What is it people are actually wanting from the product? Yeah. What new products can we then bring to market using the skills that we've got that are going to fill a gap? Okay. So if the big gap at the minute is for high protein, great. Yes. Yeah. There was a number of years ago, the big thing was high protein, but big bulk. Mm. But thanks to your GLP-1
Yes.
and things like that. People don't have huge appetites. So people are looking for ways to get dense nutrition quickly and easily without it being too filling. So that's kind of where the trends are going in food. So how can we do that without it being popping a pill? How can we still make it real food that's going to be an enjoyable experience and achieve those goals?
Okay.
So that's where our product development is going at the minute.
That's cool.
And then there's just the sheer luxury. The world's a pretty crappy place at times. Good food makes you feel better.
It does.
So we've got our very much our functional side and how can we get the best function, but then the other need that we see, the other problem that we want to try and fix is how can we give people a rich dining experience without it costing way too much. What's going to make you feel comfy and cozy and warm and happy? Because that's what food does.
Yeah, it does. And it brings people together.
Of course it does. Of course it does. And again, back when I said people at the heart of everything we do, when we design products, it's for people. And we try and think of who's going to be eating the product.
Interesting.
I mean, I sat down first week back at Grant's with the team and I said, look, why are we interested in our quality? Food safety. I said, well, food safety is important. Obviously, that's a given. That's a hygiene factor. But why am I so obsessed with quality? And they said, well, to be fair, we don't really know. And I said, because at some point, that piece of fish that you just thrown down there, that's going to be on somebody's plate at their 50th wedding anniversary dinner. That's going to be on somebody's birthday. That's going to be a celebration. It's going to be somebody's dirty weekend away. And that's going to be their romantic breakfast in bed. That's important. We get to be part of people's lives by the food that we prepare. And fine, it's happening in a very unsexy factory in Maryport. But that doesn't say it's not going to, that's not where it's going to end.
No.
It ends its life in an occasion. And that's lovely. That's cool. Really nice. We get to play a part in that. So we try and kind of put that value into everything that we do, and so that people understand that fine, it's maybe a minimum wage job in Maryport, but you're actually doing something of value. You're actually doing something that's making somebody's life better, that's making them happy, that's making memories. That's pretty cool. That's nice.
There's not many people have that opportunity.
But the thing is, people do have that opportunity.
You just don't look for it.
We just need to see the impact that we have in each other's lives and what we can do. There's very few jobs that people get paid for where they can't add value to somebody's existence. We just choose not to see it.
That's true. It's perspective, isn't it?
It's perspective.
Of course it is.
It's perspective. And just having that sense of gratitude for what you're doing and what you get to do.
Stands you in good stead, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, that's it. You can approach life and think, I have to do this. But if you have to do things, then you know what, life can be pretty dull sometimes. But if you go in and think, I get to do this, all of a sudden, very different.
Absolutely.
Different motivation.
I love it. That made me feel all warm. That did.
Do you want some smoked salmon?
Yeah, literally. So if we're allowed to talk, if we're allowed to go there, where can we get your product from? That you're allowed to tell us about.
Well, locally, a lot of the high-end hotels and restaurants will have our product.
It's really good.
So you will find it in some of the finer establishments in Cumbria.
I love.
We sell into booths.
Nice.
So keeping it nice and local. Trying to think where else locally. Yeah, I think that's probably it locally. Nice. A lot of what we do is for export.
Cool.
But we also do an awful lot into the kosher market. So we sell into Tesco's because we're probably the Rolls Royce of kosher smoked salmons.
Brilliant.
So that does really well.
That's cool. All the different markets.
The different markets.
Cool.
Yeah, locally, if you want to grab some booths.
Right, okay. Well, I think that would be my weekend. I might be popping to sample some. Thank you very much for that.
I should have brought some. I didn't think.
I'll have that with my eggs.
There you go.
And my little toasted muffins, a bit hollandaise.
If you ever want to be fat, you do the egg Benedict.
Oh, yeah.
But instead of ham, you smoke salmon.
I have eggs royale.
Oh, eggs royale.
Yes,
there you
that's
go.
me. I had them yesterday, actually.
Oh,
Mr. H made my
you're
breakfast
so
for me.
bougie.
I am.
You're just so bougie.
Don't believe all the rumours.
I think you're down to earth.
I don't hide it very well, do I?
You're so highbrow.
I know, I get my breakfast made for me as well, honestly. I'm spoiled. But
It's a hard life.
I know it's exhausting being this fabulous. No, it is. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on the pod, you know that, and just hearing sort of your kind of your gratitude and appreciation for everything that's happened through your career and how, like, the lens that you've put it on to see things through and to want to give back to Maryport as a town and all the great people that come to the factory every day. They turn up, rain, hail, sleet or shine, they're there. And yeah, Maryport's a pretty cool place.
It's a special place.
It is.
It's a special place. People are real, they're honest, and they're a pleasure to be around.
Yeah, absolutely.
I enjoy the excuse to get back. It's really good.
And they do like a beer on a Friday afternoon.
Which is always very nice.
So, Paul, when you're not bossing and, well, we mentioned surfing before, and you're not down the football.
Yeah.
What are you doing in your spare time?
Okay, so a number of years ago, I was the national president for Roundtable Great Britain and Ireland.
Yes.
Which was an awful lot of fun. But they kick you out when you're 45.
Rude.
So that sounds so rude. Ageism. So when they kicked me out, I was kind of at a loose end, and I thought I need to kind of get back into service in the community because, as we said, community is really important to me.
Sure.
And if you've got skills, it's incumbent upon you to use them.
Yeah.
So I volunteered as a trustee up at Eden Valley Hospice.
Yes.
And recently down at Carlisle Cathedral. So I joined the board of trustees there and became a canon.
That's cool.
Which is really cool.
Oh, God, Carlisle Cathedral's gorgeous.
Carlisle Cathedral is absolutely beautiful.
It really is.
But it's quite nice to be able to bring that kind of business angle into it because we've got a great clergy team, we've got a great governance team, we've got all sorts of skill sets. So it's just nice to bring something a wee bit left of field every now and then. And it can be quite handy. So at the minute, we've got a big fundraiser on. We have this beautiful pipe organ. You've probably heard it.
It's amazing.
Well, it is in desperate need of repair and it's going to cost 2.2 million.
Stop it.
No, honestly, 2.2 million.
It's made of gold.
It is made of. The sound is golden.
Of course.
The sound is golden.
Of course. Yes.
No, but it's part of the heritage of the county. It's part of the heritage of what we do. So we've been really blessed that we have had 1.8 million of it already committed to.
Wow.
So 1.6 already committed to.
Wow.
And we've still got another 600,000 to find.
Wow.
So we are keen to get in touch with anybody that might want to help support that.
For sure. Wow. That's
it's a big.
No mean feat.
It's no mean feat, but it's a massive part of our heritage. Like we've talked a lot about community and things that anchor us. The football is one of the things that anchor us. But the cathedral anchors us as well, and that spiritual side, and the music particularly does. If you go in there for a graduation ceremony or at Christmas, and you hear that organ, all of a sudden you're transported in time, and the grandeur and the glory, and all of a sudden heaven touches earth, and you just feel it all come together. So it's really important that we kind of get behind it and try and support.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our heritage and our history. But then there's also the kind of musical programs. So we've got kids from all backgrounds come as choristers. A lot of I know, the cute wee faces.
So
and the adults. But there can be an elitism in choral singing. So many cathedrals will have a private school where the choristers come from, and it's quite fancy. In Cumbria, we are a lot more inclusive. And any child with a voice is welcome to come and try out. And we just nurture that talent and just give them opportunities in music and their musical education that they just wouldn't get anywhere else.
So cool.
So it's really quite special. And then we've got our outreach programs to all the other choral traditions within the community. And there's nothing nicer than seeing a little kid from a comprehensive school in West Cumbria being able to come into Carlisle Cathedral and sing underneath that great big starry sky with that great big organ built out trumpet tones behind them. It's pretty
magical, isn't
it's glorious. So although it's expensive, it's something we do need to preserve, and it's something that we need to keep hold of. And the work that we do is going to last 50 to 100 years. So we're talking a generational impact. I just think it's so important that we engage with things like that.
Absolutely. And music brings people together as well.
Music brings people together.
You were saying before about, we're now football fans, and music it's another thing that...
Maybe we need to do a mash-up between Carlisle United and Carlisle Cathedral.
Well, it's World Cup season, so maybe we need an anthem.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, maybe we need a song.
Maybe we need to get working on it.
Yeah.
Well, you're a bit of a singer anyway, aren't you?
I know some musicians. I know some people.
I know some people. I know some people.
I know some much more talented people than me.
Yeah, so if there's anybody listening that would like to get involved, like if you are a scaffolding company and you would like to sponsor the specialist scaffolding that we need, give us a shout.
Yeah.
If you do pipes into Sellafield and you want to sponsor the pipes for the pipe organ, there you go. It's a nice tie-in.
There you go.
There's plenty of opportunities. And we're really keen to get the community and industry involved. Because it's our cathedral. It's our music. And that's what we really want to get across to people. This isn't something that's thrust upon people. This is something that belongs to us as a community. And again, we've got a responsibility to make sure that it lasts out for future generations. 50, 100 years ago, somebody thought of us and put it together.
Yeah.
It's up to us to kind of make sure it's there for generations to come. Yeah, it's really exciting.
Cool. Yeah, it is exciting. It's a big task, but I think if there's anyone up for the job, Paul, it's you.
Well, we've got a great team. We've got some really good people, and we'll pull it together.
Yeah. Oh well, we'll put all the different links. Tom will do a great job, and he'll put.
There
the
we
links
go.
In, so
That'd be great.
If anyone wants to keep an eye on the journey or how they can get involved and how they can support that, we'll
and even if they can't support it financially,
talking about
it makes a big difference. Come along and experience it and enjoy it.
Or like a Facebook post or
absolutely.
Yeah.
Or if you've been and you've seen it and you've enjoyed it and you've heard the music and you've heard the choir, tell people how amazing it was.
But thank you.
No, thank you very much. It's been really nice.
It's been amazing. And for anybody out there listening that wants to get in touch with Paul, you'll find him on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I'm all over LinkedIn.
All over LinkedIn. You'll find that photo of him from the 90s as well if you scroll back far enough. But yeah, you can also...
Me in the 90s, there you go.
You can Google the guys over at Grant's Oak Smoked as well if you're interested in finding out a bit more or hearing about the career opportunities or what's coming along. Do reach out to Paul and give him a shout. Awesome.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
And that's a wrap. What an amazing podcast that was. Thanks so much to Paul for coming on and sharing his story with us and what the plans look like for the future of Grant's Oak Smoked as well. I'm sure you'll have enjoyed it too. If you could do me a huge favour and like or follow or give us a comment or share this podcast with some of your friends, we would really appreciate it because it does help us grow the pod and grow our audience too. Cheers, guys. See you soon.